Hi, welcome back to Kaku's Kitchen. I'm Kaku, and this is not my kitchen, but I promise you today's recipe was cooked and filmed in my kitchen, so it's a good one. It's called Dodo and eggs. Dodo is pretty much a Nigerian name for fried plantains, and then eggs to go with it. This recipe, surprisingly, well, what I realized is that it's not really taught to people, it's just something you kind of pick up. I mean, if you're Nigerian and someone actually taught you how to make dodo and eggs, then tell me. Or just put it in the, make a comment and let me know. But I feel like this is something that you just pick up because it's cooked very often in most Nigerian kitchens. So, anyway, if you want to see how I make dodo and eggs, then keep watching and I'll catch you on the other side of the clip. So you'll need 4 eggs, and this will make 2 portions. Some chopped red onions, some chopped tomatoes. I used 2 Roma tomatoes for this. Some peppers, and this is just 1 habanero pepper. Some chopped bell peppers, and this is only because I had some in my fridge. A bouillon cube, some butter, and some spices. To start off, you just melt some of the butter over low heat, and I ended up adding in some vegetable oil just so I could turn up the heat and not burn the butter. Then you add in the chopped onions first and saute that for a bit. Let that really fry. And like I said, I ended up adding in some vegetable oil, and this is about 2 to 3 tablespoons. After the onions have fried for a little bit, then I add in the salt at this point. And then let that cook for a bit more. And once the onions start turning white or translucent, then you add in the chopped tomatoes and the peppers as well. And then you let that cook for a while as well. Let the tomatoes and peppers and onions cook and reduce over the heat for a while. And I think this took about 5 minutes, I would say. And it's been cooking for a while and starting to reduce, and then at this point I add in the spice mix and the bouillon cubes. The 1 bouillon cube, and I have it crushed. Like I always say, you need to crush it so you don't have a chunk of bouillon cube showing up in some part of your food. And I only used half of the bouillon cube, not the whole thing, so the food doesn't end up being too salty. And then I mix that up and just let that keep frying for a while. And I do apologize because I forgot to hit the record button. But then you just add the chopped bell peppers after a while, and then beat the eggs and add them in. And when you do that, this is what it looks like. And because I want my eggs to be scrambled, I just keep mixing them in and just let it cook every so often. And after a short while, the eggs are pretty much cooked, and it's a really quick, very easy egg recipe. Now for the plantains. After you prep the plantains by peeling off the skin and cutting it, you put some vegetable oil over medium heat, and then you put in the plantains. And if they sizzle when you put it in, then it's good to go. And you let the plantains fry for a while. I think I fried them for about 7 minutes on the one side, and then they turned golden brown. And then I flipped them over and let them cook on the other side as well. And you don't want it to be on really low heat and on too high heat, because if it's on really low heat, the plantains would just absorb all the oil. And then if it's on really high heat, then the plantains wouldn't cook, they'll just burn. And that's it for the fried plantains. Very easy, very quick dodo and egg recipe. So there you have it. It's a very simple, very quick, very yummy recipe, I have to say. And I do have to apologize that all of the clips are not shown in there because I just kind of got distracted with the cooking and I forgot to hit the record button several times, during the process. But I hope the instructions that I gave earlier during the clip are pretty explanatory, so that if everything in this recipe is really optional. Like, the one thing you need is definitely the plantains for the dodo, and the one thing you need is the eggs for the eggs, and you definitely need vegetable oil to fry the plantains, and vegetable oil and or butter to fry the eggs. But everything else, all of the veggies I put in the eggs, are totally optional. And the spices, I mean, you just need to spice it, put spices to taste. So just definitely tweak this recipe to whatever it is your preference is. So that's today's video. I've shown you how I make dodo and eggs in my kitchen. If this is your first exposure to dodo and eggs, then I hope that this video has been really explanatory on how it's made, and I hope it's inspired you to go and replicate this dish in your kitchen. And when you do, please tag me in your pictures and leave a comment below letting me know how it turned out and how much you enjoyed the dish, because I know that you will. On the other hand, if this isn't your first dodo and egg rodeo and you've been making this for a while, then I hope this video has inspired you to go and make dodo and egg sometime this week. And when you do, please tag me in your pictures and leave a comment below letting me know how yours turned out, and also leave some tips below for me to learn how you make it in your kitchen, because I would definitely like to learn how other people make dodo and egg, or different dishes, so that I can also pick up a few tips and tricks from you guys. So that's it for this week. For next week though, I'm not quite sure what I want to make, but it's going to be really good because it's coming from Kaku's kitchen. So definitely tune in again next week and see what it is that I'm making in my kitchen. Until then, have fun cooking, and I'll catch you on Sunday next week.